Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our presentation of the new H-Series command and signaling devices for hygienic applications. My name is David Schucker, and I am here just to do some housekeeping before I introduce our today's presenter. So first off, if you have any questions during the session, please use the questions box in the interface, and we have some time set aside at the end of the presentation to handle any of the questions you may have. We also have some handouts and a video link in the handouts section of the interface. And I just want to remind you that today we are recording the session and we will be sending out follow-up materials at the end of the session. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Dawn Etta, who is our internal education and training engineer for Schmersal USA. She has more than 25 years of dedicated service at Schmersal. She has a Bachelor of Engineering and Electrical Engineering as a TUV Certified Functional Safety Engineer and a TUV Certified Machinery CE Expert. Her many years of experience have been instrumental in advancing our education programs, and she is here today to present our latest product. So Dawn, take it away.
Thank you very much, David. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today on the H-Series, the command and signaling devices for hygienic applications. Okay, so our new product line here, we will give you a little bit of an agenda here for the new hygienic command and control devices. We'll talk a little bit of background information on the hygienic regulations and design considerations behind the design of the new series, as well as the review of various operators and options that are available to you, some application examples, some additional hygienic and IP69 rated devices that Schmersal also offers, and then some sources for additional information. So first, we'll start with a background of some of the hygienic design standards that are out there. Background for hygienic and food safety requirements in food processing are obviously to reduce the accumulation of product residue, to reduce the contamination risk of organic and non-organic nature. And basic requirements are derived from this. The machine design must reflect those aspects. The machines must be light and easy to clean, and the handling of perishables is subject to certain rules and regulations. Hygienic design distinguishes between 4 different hygienic areas. You've got a dry zone. That's typically your non-contact area. The protection against soiling is necessary or required. Your splash zone, where food stuff could splash. The operators could touch the food and the machines and there's a risk of contamination or cross-contamination. There's a wet zone, so you have a high risk of bacterial contaminations with low pressure cleaning with chemicals or hot cleaning. And then an aggressive zone where even higher risk of contamination is present. So it's a frequent hot steam cleaning or a high pressure cleaning with aggressive detergents. How do we minimize those risks? So that comes from the machine design. So the risks must be considered during the design, the construction, the installation of the machine. And the machines, as we mentioned, must be light and easy to clean. And so knowing all this, and moving on to our next slide, where we talk about the changes in the standards for food contact devices. The main changes are in the Food Processing Machinery Basic Concepts Part 2, Hygiene and Cleanability Requirements of the DIN EN 1672-2. The standard for material requirements and certifications changed from 2002-72 EG to 10-2011. And then additional information for cleaning conditions and mounting of the devices are required in the instruction manual. So our instructions now for our Schmersal products will include the detail for proper use in hygiene-sensitive areas. When designing the machine or the system, it must be ensured that the command devices are attached such that lateral actuation via the sealing bellows is rendered impossible, that devices can be operated at the operating surfaces, and that the ergonomic operation is possible. The plant owner must ensure that the machines and systems are operated and cleaned only by personnel who have been trained on the machine or system. The machine and system owner and cleaning personnel have been instructed on the specifics of the machine and the system. And special mounting instructions for hygienic applications will be included in all the instructions. So you'll have general instructions for cleaning and disinfection, dry cleaning, wet cleaning, and disinfection. Recommending cleaning agents will be listed. Certified cleaning and care products along with their main ingredients can be found in the instructions. And many of the cleaning agents will either have been tested in a standardized Ecolab procedure with third-party testing, or as in an alternative storage test on those cleaning agents. So some of the legal and hygienic design standards and principles that are applicable. There's a variety of standards describing hygienic risks for pharmaceutical and food products. For food production, the machines and systems must fulfill certain characteristics that are defined in various regulations. And they apply to the individual parts of the machine and systems, and they place high demands on hygiene, cleaning, and safety. The most important regulations and organizations include the Machinery Directive, which defines the basic health and safety requirements for machinery in the European Union. And so in the Machinery Directive, machinery that's intended for use with food or cosmetics or pharmaceutical products must be designed and constructed in such a way to avoid any risk of infection, sickness, or contagion. All surfaces in contact with foodstuffs or cosmetics or pharmaceutical products other than the surfaces or disposable parts must be smooth and have neither ridges nor crevices, be easily cleaned and disinfected, and the instructions must indicate recommended products and methods for cleaning, disinfecting, and rinsing, not only for easily accessible areas, but also for areas to which access is impossible or inadvisable. Besides the Machinery Directive, there's also the DIN EN ISO 14159 that describes the hygienic requirements, the hygiene requirements for the design of machines that come into contact with food or other products that require hygienic handling. DIN EN 1672-2, which defines the general design principles for food processing machines, in particular the requirements for hygiene and cleanability. Regulation number 178/2002 of the European Parliament, which lays down the general principles and requirements of food law, establishes the European Food Safety Authority and regulates procedures in matters of food safety. Regulation 1935/2004 of the European Parliament and of the Council on materials and articles intended to come into contact with food and repealing previous directives. And then lastly, the Commission Regulation number 2023/2006 on good manufacturing practices, materials, and articles intended to come into contact with food. Additional standards that you may find here in the United States, you have 3A, the 3A sanitary standards is a US government recognized nonprofit association of device manufacturers and other healthcare professionals. Through decades of collaboration, they have created a comprehensive inventory of standards, and the focus is on the dairy industry. Since its standards are already being followed in other countries, there is now cooperation with the EHEDG. The EHEDG is the European Hygienic Engineering and Design Group, which is an association of manufacturers, processors, research institutes, and other authorities that provide guidance, guidelines, and certificates for the hygienic design of machinery and equipment for food, beverage, and pharmaceutical industries in Europe. Of course, you have the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, a US agency that oversees and regulates, among other things, the manufacture and trade of food and pharmaceutical products. And the NSF, the Public Health and Safety Company, which was founded in 1944 as the National Sanitation Foundation, which develops its own hygienic standards and examines, tests, and certifies equipment and facilities. Here too, there's cooperation with the EHEDG. Bringing it to the United States, under US regulations, equipment that comes into contact with food being processed must contain no niches. Although this statement is uniform, there's many different agencies with regulations. And among those include the USDA, the Food Safety and Inspection Service, that pre-approves equipment for use in meat, poultry, and egg product facilities. The USDA is your federal agency for agriculture, food, and rural development, and it provides programs and services to farmers, processors, and consumers. The FDA works with foreign governments and international standard-setting bodies to harmonize the food safety laws, regulations, and standards based on science. The FDA will also establish arrangements with regulatory partners to harmonize food safety standards and eliminate duplication or overlap in food safety controls. And the FDA maintains two mechanisms to further these efforts. You have a systems recognition where the FDA recognizes that a foreign food safety system achieves food safety outcomes comparable to those of the FDA, and equivalence, where the FDA recognizes that a foreign food safety system achieves the same level of public health protection as the US despite having different food safety controls. The USDA AMI Dairy Division approves machinery used in dairy. The FDA also follows current good manufacturing practices, so your CGMPs, which address cleanability to ensure the safety of all food and drug products. And the FDA Food Safety Modernization Act was the most sweeping reform in over 70 years, signed into law on January 4th, 2011. That compliance dates occurred over several years for the implementation of various parts of that particular act that will force compliance with your current good manufacturing practice regulations. Animal food is now included. And then lastly, the AMI, the American Meat Institute, which was the oldest and largest trade association for the United States meat and poultry industry, and it merged with the North American Meat Institute in 2015. And so they developed the task force to homogenize the many US food standards amongst 3A, GMP, FDA, and USDA. It's important to distinguish, as we talk this afternoon, about IP ratings, the ingress protection, and hygienic requirements. IP69 does not imply hygienic design. The ingress protection for IP69 provides the protection against the ingress of dust and dirt to withstand high pressure and high temperature washdown environments, which are typically prevalent washdown method for hygienic applications. IP69 comes from your international standard IEC 60529. Hygienic design is the design of the components in the machines and the production facilities and the surrounding areas with the objective of ensuring safe food suitable for human and animal consumption. Hygienic design advantages will include less and shorter cleaning procedures that can be up to 25% of production time, more time for production, using less fresh water, so you'll have less freshwater waste, less cleaning agents, less energy demand, lower total costs. And will also offer fewer recalls of food products due to the contaminants that will be present, the bacterial contamination and product contamination by foreign objects, chemicals, or other substances, which are typically two main reasons for costly product recalls. So now I'll get right into our H series, hygienic command and signaling devices. So we will offer, with our new H series, a full range of our command and signaling devices specifically designed to those latest international regulations for hygiene-sensitive applications. They will be DG/UV certified, hygiene tested, and there's a certificate that's found online. stating that they are hygiene tested. And so we'll have a variety of operators that will include your e-stop mushroom impact buttons and push buttons and illuminated push buttons, mushroom momentary buttons, 24 different selector switches with 2 or 3 different positions for maintained or momentary, 48 step switches, 20 main switches from 16 amps to 125 amps, 5 indicator lights, potentiometer rotation drive knob, potentiometer sold separately, blind plug accessories, contact and light element accessories, different contact carriers, and a marking plate. So the characteristic features of our H series will include that they offer a gap-free transition between the sealing elements and the surfaces with an absence of protruding parts. They're easy to clean, well sealed so they can withstand regular cleaning with high pressure cleaners and aggressive cleaning agents. The gasketing and the seals between the components are blue colored as stipulated in the standards. So we'll start with the e-stop operator. Obviously it's going to meet the requirements of use as an e-stop with the red mushroom operator that will latch and require a manual reset with the yellow backing. The yellow backing and the red knob are stipulated in the National Electric Code and in NFPA 79 and in ISO 13850 as designated to be used as an e-stop operation only. The hygienic design elements will include that blue seal between the components, the flexible bellows that is also blue, the visible sealing ring to the panel is blue, and smooth transitions. And the reason it's blue is because blue is not a naturally occurring color in food and therefore can be easily detected by various vision systems and inspection systems of food and pharmaceutical products. And we have our standard HDT push button. It'll be a momentary action. And again, including all those hygienic design elements of the flexible blue gasket. This will now have a stainless steel cover ring, that visible sealing ring to the panel that is blue, and smooth transitions. Available in, I should have counted 7 colors, blue, red, yellow, green, white, black, and gray. Moving on to a momentary illuminated push button with an LED bulb under the lens. Again, emulating those hygienic design elements, and available in 5 different colors. We have a 30mm diameter compact mushroom push button, momentary action, available in 6 different colors. Testing the electrical engineer, me having to count on the fly. Again, including those hygienic design elements, the flexible gasket, that's blue, the stainless steel cover ring, the visible sealing ring to the panel, that is blue, and your smooth transitions. We also now offer a 30mm illuminated mushroom push button that will have momentary action, that LED bulb underneath the mushroom operating surface, visible from all sides, and available in 5 different colors: your blue, your red, your yellow, your green, and your white. We have the HDRZ 40 mushroom push button operator. So here a 40mm diameter mushroomed push button. This one will latch and pull to reset, and available in 6 different color options. Again, with your stainless steel cover ring, your flexible bellows or gasketing that's blue, that sealing ring that's visible to the panel that's blue, and those smooth transitions. And the HDTP 40 mushroom push button operator. So another 40mm mushroom with a momentary operation. Again, with those same hygienic design elements, available in 6 different standard colors: your blue, red, yellow, green, white, and black. And now getting into our HW series of selector switches, either a 2-position or a 3-position. We'll talk here first about the 2-position, either 2-position maintain 0 center, or you could have 2-position momentary spring return to 0 position, incorporating all those hygienic design elements we've just discussed on the previous slides. You can have a standard sized knob that will either be black or white, again with that blue separation between the knob and the stainless steel cover ring, and then the smooth transitions and your visible sealing ring to the panel that is also blue. Or you can have an extended knob option in black or white. The HW selector switch of 3-position with 0 center, left position and right position. You can have it maintained in both directions of your HWS32, or your momentary in both directions, that's your HWT32. You can have it maintained to the left and momentary to the right, or momentary to the right and maintained to the left. So a combination to suit pretty much any potential combination on a machine control panel, and again available with a black or a white knob, or an extended black or an extended white knob. Here we have the HWSE step switch, which can be anywhere from 2 up to 12 positions, delivered with its intact contact block. You would not need to purchase extra contact blocks. This comes fully assembled, whether it's 2-position, 4-position, 10, up to 12 positions of your step switches, with the same color knob combinations that you saw on the previous slide for the HW series. Here at the HWSE series, again, black, white, extended, or standard. Again, using all the previous design principles, with the blue transition from the knob to the stainless steel bezel, and the blue visible blue ring to the panel itself. This is your HHS main disconnect switch. We offer it with the black and silver colorway as your main disconnect switch, or as an HHS NH, your emergency cutoff switch. So that's your red knob with your yellow background for that emergency disconnect switch. Available for 16 amp, 2-pole or 4-pole, 40 amp, 63 amp, or 125 amp. It is lockable with a padlock in the off position to provide you with lockout tagout. It is delivered as one complete set. It includes the contact block, so you do not order extra contact blocks. It comes pre-assembled, ready to install. You can order it with or without the square mounting plate. You have a rear mounting on the mounting plate itself that will have a blue gasket, again, so that it's easily detectable in vision and X-ray detection systems. And lastly, the potentiometer knob, the HDAN6, that will include a mounting bracket for a potentiometer. The potentiometer itself is not included. It's available with an unlimited 360-degree rotation, or with an end stop at 250 degrees of movement, with a black or your white knob, again with those blue color transitions between the knob to the bezel of stainless steel, and then that blue, visible blue seal to the panel itself. Lastly, the HML indicator light. So an LED pilot light or indicator light. So that LED visible from all sides, available in 5 different colors. Again, including the hygienic design elements of that visible blue gasket, the stainless steel covering, the visible sealing ring to the panel that's also blue, and smooth transitions. Sorry, wasn't advancing. So this is sort of an exploded view of how the operator would come together. So when you order your operator, you do get the mounting ring and contact mounting block included with delivery. The operator's on the outside of the panel face. Behind the panel, you have your mounting ring, where you would then utilize a mounting tool that we offer. And then you would connect your contact blocks to the mounting block. So for vertical or horizontal mounting, there is a notch that is included on the operator. So you're drilling out a 22.5 millimeter diameter installation hole with a notch to orient the button, and it orients the button correctly and it prevents turning. There are versions that are without that orientation notch, and they will have a special suffix of 3195 at the end of the part number. So for example, if you were ordering a blue push button, it would be an HDTBL-3195, and that facilitates a retrofit moving from a previous N series to move to an H series hygienically approved units. That central mounting or locking nut with a specific torque is available as an accessory. There is a specific tightening torque that's referenced in the installation instructions, 4 Newton meters. The contact elements are installed by snapping the contact elements onto that contact carrier. And we have normally open contact block available, a normally closed contact block available, and then your lamp holder, that BA9S lamp holder, ordering the LED bulb as a separate accessory. So the lamp holder would be mounted in the center position only, or you can utilize all 3 positions for 3 sets of contacts, or the lamp holder in the center and 2 sets of contacts, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. So those lights must be installed in the center position. You can have a double row of contact elements, so you can gang them or mount them in series, a maximum of 2 contact blocks per mounting position. The contact elements in the second row are installed by snapping them onto the elements in the first row. But you cannot put a further contact element attached to the light element itself. A maximum of 4 contact elements may be used on devices with latching. The 4th element must be mounted in the center. There'll be special mounting instructions in our operating instructions for hygienic applications, for hygiene-related devices, which are mounted, that are used obviously in the food processing industry, water splash areas or non-food areas. Additional requirements with regards to the installation should be observed, arranged in such a way that cleaning with a cloth is possible in each position and when the switch is not actuated. And it goes on to further detail. The device is connected from 1 or more sides to a housing wall. A radius of 100 millimeters from the center of the mounting hole must be adhered to. And then an additional note that devices must be installed in such a way that liquids can drain from all the surfaces, so an incline of greater than 3 degrees is recommended. And the contact elements and lights must be installed and protected behind the operating surface, as they are not intended to come into contact with foodstuffs. So all that details are all found in the mounting and wiring instructions for how to mount and install and how to clean the H series operators. The contact elements are available in 2 different package sizes, as single packaging or in bulk packaging in a box with 20 pieces. So giving you greater flexibility for replacement parts. You can order them 1 at a time, or for larger installations, you can order in bulk packaging in 20-piece quantities. We do have accessories for our H series, similar to our previous series, where we'll have an identification label plate that can be customized with 1 or 2 lines of text. It is your type 4VA stainless steel. We also have, that's your HZSO/V4A. The NDP65 is our traditional e-stop yellow backing label ring. That's an adhesive foil with an IP69 adhesive. A blanking plug or hole plug, That will say you have a panel and you have too many holes drilled and you want to maintain your IP69 protection rating and your hygienic design aspects, that's the HB-BL that provides that blanking plug or hole plug. And then obviously our white LED, LE24/9WS, that BA9S LED bulb to go into the CLP001 lamp holder. We have the ability to laser engrave symbols onto the pilot lights and push buttons. And so there are standard symbols and a few custom icons, customized company logos are available as well. They do add a little bit of longer lead time. Typically, we have stock of our H series operators, whether in the United States or in Canada, as well as maintaining a stock in Germany. For the standard numbers, sometimes they'll have some of the standard symbols in stock as well, but other ones, they do take time to laser engrave some of the more non-standard symbols to laser engrave those. Considerations can be made for the location of the notch, and those will be designated after the symbol with another digit to show the alignment, the noon, the 3 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, or the 9 o'clock position for that notch. So some typical application examples. Our target markets and applications for our H series command and signaling devices. The food processing, so all food, from food processing to food portioning, food packaging, food palleting, the entire food processing industry, the beverage industry, pharmacy and pharmaceutical, biomedicine, medical technology, cosmetics industry. You can apply our H series command devices to the entire production spaces. The environment definitely has an influence on the product. You've got contamination risk from equipment, from the environment, from personnel. You can have automatic cleaning through permanently installed equipment, or you can have manual cleaning with different approaches, different disassembling the components or manually cleaning the entire production area. You also have preliminary cleaning with removal of production residue, pre-rinsing with low pressure preliminary cleaning control measures, or main cleaning with removal of organic residue, disinfection, microbial cleaning, microbial control. So just things to consider when we look at the target markets that we're looking at with our H series. So here's a meat slicer, for example. So the control devices on the meat slicer would include, every machine requires at least one e-stop, as well as other control and command devices on that particular meat slicer. But there's also other risks involved due to cutting, the risk of cutting due to the fast-moving blades and knives and the guillotine mechanisms that are on meat slicers. There's a risk of crushing, retraction risk due to in-feed belts. So there's other considerations beyond our control devices that we'll talk about in a couple of slides as well. Here you've got a mixer or even a sausage production line. So sometimes some quite complicated machinery that will have quite complicated machine control panels, and we've got the hygienically designed devices perfect for those applications. Filling machines, dough portioners. So again, the command and control devices for those machine controls. But there's other hazards that could be present, especially on filling machines. You've got shearing points at the funnel base, cutting and crushing hazards. So other hazards with which to consider and with which to protect against as well. And then our loading systems. So here with loading systems, again, your control devices to control the process and to start and stop the process, and of course to emergency stop the process. But you also could be experiencing exposed to the risk of pinching and crushing due to the rapidly moving robot grippers, or retraction risk due to in-feed belts. And here's another larger process showing various different stations where our H-series hygienic command and control devices can be applied. So I mentioned some additional products. So in addition to our hygienically approved H-series command and signaling devices, we also offer some IP69 rated devices that Schmersal manufactures and offers that are applicable in the food and beverage and pharmaceutical applications as well. We do have our N series of e-stops and push buttons and pilot lights and illuminated push buttons and selector switches and disconnect switches. Here, these will be IP69 rated. You'll have either a black ceiling bellows, which is perfect for industrial and outdoor applications for increased UV protection, or your white ceiling bellows for some clean room applications to easily recognize foreign material that might be on the button itself. If it does not need to be in a hygienic area, but still needs to be detectable by vision systems, we also will offer the blue ceiling bellows on the N series to identify the operator that has sheared off of the control panel as a foreign body by any optical systems in case of a device error. The N series push buttons and operators are ideal for outdoor use as they're UV tolerant and ozone tolerant. The sun and the ozone can dry out the seals in many of our competitors' products, causing them to crack and create dust and water pathways. That's a major issue when you're looking at ports and quarries and rail yards and strip mines, and so other applications for these devices besides food and beverage. Outdoor equipment manufacturers have a great need for the product as well. Originally, the IP69K protection rating was created for heavy equipment, construction vehicles is the word I'm looking for. It's like dump trucks and graders and tractors and things like that. It was originally for heavy duty trucks that the IP69 was created for, before it obviously lended its better use for the high pressure hot water hose down situation. But again, applicable to pharmaceutical, medical equipment, marine construction equipment, outdoor equipment, and vehicles. Vehicles was the word I was looking for. Car washes, airplane jet bridges, and things of that nature. And you need an enclosure to put, whether it's our H series operators or the N series operators. So here we'll offer the NBGLC series that will give you 3 housing sizes to incorporate a single operator, 2, 3, 4, or 5 operators in a type 304 stainless steel enclosure that has rounded edges. You can have your conduit opening from the side or from the bottom with sanitary gaskets that are again colored blue to be easily detected by vision systems, and IP69 rated. And for the H series, the existing NBGLC, you can either create your own notch or order the operators without the notch with the suffix 3195. Ultimately, we will be making a line of stainless steel enclosures that will incorporate and include the notch for the hygienic installation. Then we also offer interlocking devices that are IP69 rated for machine guarding applications. You'll have your electronic solenoid locking type devices for when you have gates and hatches that need to be locked, where if your overall system stopping performance is greater than or equal to the entry access time, if it takes something longer for it to come to a complete stop after immediate removal of power, then you need to look at an interlocking device with guard locking. So we've got our electronic solenoid locking devices for those sliding and hinged and removable safety guards that are on those hygienically or just equipment that's in a area that requires an IP69 hot water hose down environment. And so we offer the ASIUM 300 series, which is our electronic RFID-based electronic key interlock switch with solenoid locking for applications up to performance level E category 4 SIL 3, with integrated electronics that give you intelligent diagnostics, simple and fast fault detection, integrated cross short, wire breakage, external voltage monitoring, actuator offset monitoring, enhanced diagnostics to tell you wiring faults if you're coming out of alignment. That is also applied to the AZM40 series, which is a more compact, flat design with a 180-degree swing on that actuator to insert into the head of that solenoid locking switch. That one's bistable locking principle, where the interlock's going to maintain the last lock status in the event of a power failure. So your safe operation is assured in any operating condition of the machine. Even if the system is in a rundown movement and presents a danger, the safety door remains securely closed and locked if power has been cut off. That one, the AZM40, will give you 2,000 newtons of locking force. The AZM300 is 1,150 newtons of locking force. That has that unique turnstile interlocking design and an additional door detection sensor. And both will offer either guard locking or process locking applications, so personnel protection or process protection. And the AZM300 is also Ecolab approved, meaning that it has a certificate that it was tested to 5 or 6 particular caustic cleaning agents, according to that third-party testing agency. We also offer non-contact safety sensors that give you contactless position sensing of safety doors. And that benefits machines that will have a high amount of dust or contamination, and in hygiene-sensitive areas for machinery and equipment that are used to produce any kind of foodstuffs or pharmaceutical type products. Your non-contact coated magnet sensors cannot be actuated with a conventional magnet. It's a combination of north and south magnets actuating the magnetic reed switches inside. So only an associated target will actuate those particular switches. Both of these series, we have the BNS16 and the BNS40S, are Ecolab approved. That BNS16 offers concealed mounting possible for hygienic installations. It's insensitive to soiling, and it does have the same mounting hole patterns as a traditional AZ16 series keyed interlock switch. So to move from a keyed interlock switch with openings that can get dirty and prove difficult to wash, you can move directly to a BNS16 series with all smooth construction and easy to clean. The BNS40S offers you a step further in a stainless steel enclosure with that IP69 rating, but offering a concealed mounting option for hygienic applications. So instead of having the through holes, you'll be mounting from the rear, so you have a completely smooth surface. Smooth, easy to clean, water will run off. And available with an integrated LED if you choose to offer to have that. And then our electronic safety sensors. Again, our electronic-based non-contact safety sensors with the integrated electronics, allowing that intelligent diagnostic information, simple and fast fault determination. The RSS36 series will be RFID-based in a compact housing with or without magnetic latching. The CSS30S is pulse echo based, so a frequency evaluation. That's a 30mm diameter stainless steel housing. All of the RFID based units, the AZM300, the AZM40, and the RSS36, the RFID allows for individual coding options to enhance tamper resistance. So you can have a standard coding. You can have an I1, which means that you teach the actuator once, one and done, to give you the coding level high to ISO 14119, or you can have an I2 variation where you can have multiple teachings. So if something were to damage the actuator, you can go back and reteach the actuator with a 10-minute wait time that's written into that safety standard to emulate the repair of a broken actuator. And there's no limit to the number of times that you can teach the actuator. It's an unlimited teaching, but you do have to wait that 10-minute wait time. In addition, for non-separating guarding, so when you have openings that are not hard guarded or impossible to hard guard due to the process that's occurring, we have an emergency stop cable pull switch of stainless steel body. That's our ZQ901, offering that continuous emergency stop protection along areas of exposed machinery or conveyor lines up to 75 meters per span. That's particularly important in the food industry where you've got transport and conveyor systems. That enables the system to be shut down immediately in an emergency. So food and chemical industries, production and packaging lines. It will offer latching. So when you, it offers pull wire, slack wire, wire breakage, so cut wire detection, cut wire, slack wire, and pull axially as well. And it will latch. So that's the definition of an emergency stop. It latches and you have to provide a manual reset to the device, and therefore it is a blue push button to manually reset those contacts that are under tension. We also have light curtains, light grids, and a single safety light barrier, so single light beam that can be factory assembled into an IP69 rated enclosure. Here we're highlighting the hygienic ones with the stainless steel end caps. So it's a protective tube made from modified polycarbonate plastic, shock, break, and scratch resistant, membrane protection class IP69 to avoid condensation due to temperature changes, with double silicone O-ring seals, cleaning certified by Ecolab, and a type 314 stainless steel end cap on whether it's the SLC 440 series of our light curtains that will offer integrated functions, including fixed and floating blanking and double reset and external device monitoring, feedback monitoring loop with a status end cap and a 7-segment display, or our SLC SLG 445 series that will also include integrated muting, multi-scan, presence sensing, device initiation, that's your cyclic operation. So offering a hygienically designed, hygienically approved IP69 rated enclosures that are factory installed to ensure that you are maintaining that hygienic design and that IP69 rating. And lastly, we have our DHS door handle system, which is a compact IP69 rated ergonomic door handle for use with that AZM 40 series that was on the previous slide, with another one of our non-contact sensors in an IP67 setting or an IP66 setting of the RSS 260. This can be used with or without switches and with or without an illuminated door handle. We also offer our SATEC modular machine guarding product. It's our Blue Guard hygienic fencing. And so this is a type 304 stainless steel hygienic modular fencing that gives you frameless fence panels, U-shaped posts with spacers on the feet, all stainless steel construction, very easily cleanable. So meeting those high hygienic standard requirements of the agricultural and food processing, chemical and pharmaceutical industries. Each of the components is designed to withstand those aggressive cleaning agents, long-term durability. The U-shaped posts and floor spacers make washing and inspections easy, and the frameless panel can be adapted directly on site. It's very lightweight and robust, but can be easily handled by one person, so it's easy to install. The 4mm high strength steel wire and the reinforcing ribs make the panel strong and able to dynamically absorb impacts. And that vertical mesh shape ensures excellent machine visibility. And there's less distance. So with less distance to the hazard, more space is saved. So a 28 by 64mm mesh slot allows you to install the guard only 200mm from the hazard, reducing the space occupied by your safety perimeter. So we've got additional information that you can find on our website if you go to either schmersalusa.com, and you can download some of our brochures and tech briefs, or you go to www.products.schmersal.com. I got that right. That's our online catalog and web shop. For some reason, I had a brain freeze there. All of the products will be found on the online catalog and web shop for purchase as well. And you'll be able to get details and brochures and operating instructions at the web shop, as well as on our Schmersal USA website, you can download and visit and download and see our various brochures and single-page tech briefs that will give you additional information on our hygienically designed command and control devices and some of the other items that I've spoke of as well. So I'm going to take a look at our questions. I see that there's some hands raised and questions. So here, I believe, are the questions. So it would be nice if I could make the box bigger. Sorry about that. A little technical gremlin here. Are there plans for some sort of illumination for the emergency stop operator? At the moment, Schmersal does not offer an illuminated emergency stop operator, and they do not offer one yet for the H series. I do not know of any immediate plans, but I can reach out. You know, I ask every once in a while to ask for a UL approved. Our UL approval carries CUL US, meaning that UL tests it to Canadian and US standards. At the moment, we don't have any illuminated e-stop that is UL, but I'll reach out and ask again, and that will be part of the after emails that come from us with the recordings, and we'll have the list of these questions that were asked, and we'll include that on there. What is the turnaround time for print customization? Usually it's about 3 to 4 weeks from the time we place the order, and it goes out for engraving. The engraving is done in Germany, so that's where the longer lead time comes from, I guess just more for the transit. So it's about a 3 to 4 week lead time for the print customization. Yes, you can get samples. I'm not sure who's asking that question because I can't see, but you most certainly can get samples. We do have a sample program, so please reach out to us if you are an end user. You can go to our website, schmersalusa.com, and go to the contact section and find your state, and you will find our Schmersal regional manager employee or our manufacturer's representative agency may be listed there, or it might even be a local distributor whom you already have a relationship with. And you can go through any one of those avenues, or you can just reach out to us directly by sending us an email to David, is it salesusa@schmersal.com is the sales email address, or even just info.usa. Yeah, salesusa, sorry. Yeah, salesusa.com will help facilitate a sample request as well. Salesusa@schmersal.com. And competition. I don't reference competition because we are the only manufacturer that will offer a hygienically approved push button operator, emergency stop operator, pilot lights of that nature, these command and signaling devices that we just went through on this H series. We are the only manufacturer that offers hygienically approved push buttons, pilot lights, e-stops, selector switches, main disconnect switches, everything that we've touched upon today. Migration from the N series, a choice or future code requirement. Because of the various changes in the standards that were updated from when the N series was first presented to now to the H series, so the H stands for hygienic. So the H series will be our hygienically approved devices. The N series will no longer be considered hygienically approved, but they will still be Ecolab approved and IP69 rated for the majority of other installations and applications. But if a true hygiene requirement is necessary, that's where the H series would come into play. Oh yes, that's on the next slide. Are any of the H series devices UL rated, like type 4X, 4, or 12? So since that's the last question, and you can still, if you still have questions, you can still pop them into the question box. But I'm going to advance to the next slide because we have a little bit of a summary. And so yes, they do have UL type. It's in our UL file. UL did the testing, the third-party testing, where NEMA is not a third-party tested. That's a self-certification. We offer the UL type 4X, 5, 12, and 13, as well as the IP69 rating to IEC 60529. But in review, our hygienically certified Design, so that's DGUV certified, hygiene tested to GSNV 6/2019/08 principles for the testing of hygiene requirements. We are utilizing high quality chemically resistant materials, high quality stainless steel or food grade plastics. They're easy to clean, hygienic with the visible blue gasketing to be detected by vision systems. They will have the smooth contours and surfaces, which not only make cleaning easier, but also prevent the penetration of moisture and humidity. The IP69 or IP69K degree of protection, fully protected against the ingress of moisture, even during the intensive aggressive cleaning that comes with the high pressure jets of water up to 100 bar and 80 degrees Celsius of the hot water. Ecolab tested cleaning agents. Those are actually listed in the installation instructions, and you can get to see those when you go onto our website and pull up the operating instructions. You will see a number of different Ecolab tested cleaning agents that are listed there. So with that, I think we've almost run out of time. I'll just pop open the question box one more time and see if anybody's there. And then if not, I thank everyone for their time today. Appreciate that you've taken an hour of your day to listen to me talk about our new hygienic command and control devices. And I wish everyone a safe day.